What's going on, everybody? Mr. Thrasha here. Welcome to the show. Today we're checking out some interesting church architecture and a secret cemetery just over here. I've covered it before, but not all of you have seen that episode. This is going to be interesting. I'll be covering a church I've never covered before. This one here wasn't built too long ago, St. Paul's. It's got some really unique architecture though. Check that out. We're gonna check out the secret cemetery across the way first. So right over here, we have this, which used to be a church and a funeral parlor at one point. Now someone resides in here, but the original church was right over here. Historical landmark here, so it still looks the way it does. But this would have been here since late 1800s, early 1900s. I've met the people who live here. Very interesting. Rather creepy too. Like the cemetery behind it that we're going to check out. Wow, it's got a disco ball in there. Interesting cross right here. The bottles and candles in the window. I used to think it was a witch that lived here. Looks like a witch house. Funeral parlor. Yeah, very old. The original stone in here. It's the original stone. Wow, look at the side window here. How old that is. Very neat. Love this place. Wait till you see the cemetery behind it. To the left here, got a take a book, leave a book. Oh, it's pretty full. Lots in there. I like this. I like this little setup. Our family tree. And just to the left over here, we have the Hazeldean Lodge. Hazeldean Lodge, number 517. Hmm, 1913, 2013. We're gonna walk back to see the secret cemetery that very few people, even people around this area, know about. Alright, let's head back. Good day to do this. It is not below freezing. Wow. Look at this. Died September 28th, 1917. Only a few people are actually buried back here. Wow. How old that stone is. This thing here is really creepy. Just an ornament of sorts, but given the setting here, pretty creepy. Look at this. It is crazy back here. Just so unique. You don't often see too many cemeteries like this. Off the beaten path. Memory of Lydia Bradley. Died in 1880, aged 32? I thought that said 82. I think it's 32. Look at these little stones right here. Wow, they're not even in the ground. They're just leaning up against this one. They don't necessarily like people to come back here because only so many people are buried here. There's someone up there, a couple stones here. There's these ones. When the snow gets too thick, you can't walk back here. I have covered this one other time, but I don't think most people saw it, so let's check this out. Look at these old stones. You can't even read the markers. Wow. Robert Nelson. Look at these. concrete. They're on Polly Prentice. If you want to look up any of these names, Polly Prentice, see who these people were. Loving memory of Francis. Cannot make the lower portion of that marker out. Absolutely wild though. William Young. Holy Bible there. Yeah, it's rather creepy. Rather creepy. This sacred stone here. Memory of John Colbert. 1895. The tree is very creepy back here. Thomas Bradley. November 16th, 1912 at 74. And if you make it into the 70s, that's a pretty good, well-lived life. 1870. Wow, look at the size of this tombstone. December 13th, 1875 at age 21. That's young. Or 1894, 45 years, 2 people buried there. Obviously, folks who live in this area must know about this little secretive cemetery. There's some more stones way at the back here. The front of this one's actually facing this direction. Oh. Oh my God. This person's name was John McCurdy. Good God. John Wright. The John section right here. 1876. Yeah, that really creeped me out there. And a few of you will know why, and a couple of you will wonder why, but look at these ones over here. This one at the back could be the most monumental. Got this little one here. Another John. Another John. John Barber. Let's say 1846. Wow. It's giving me the horror movie vibes. Look at this. The hourglass with the wings. That is deadly. Very cool. 1862. That's a July 1st or July 10th. Because July 1st, it was Canada Day. As they were 78 when they died. That's an epic monument. Some torches right there. Yeah, the hourglass with the wings. Very cool. Another John. Is everybody buried here named John? John Colbert. Another John Colbert. November 16th, 1878, aged 38 years. Someone look up John Colbert, see if they can figure out how he died. He's just 2 years older than I am. And then there's one more way at the back here. We've gone through all of them. Yeah, this one. It's wild. This one. Lonely stone way at the back here. Way at the back here. It's got some lichen growing on it. A little bit of lichen. See if I can read that. Catherine Jane. Aged 6 years. Oh. This is a stone of somebody who was only 6 years old. Can't even make out when they would have passed. Just 6 years old. Oh, there's a couple. There's someone who was 6 and there was someone else who was 8. Oh. Stones here. This one looks newer. Maybe the most recent burial here, April 3rd, 1863. And his wife. Died in 1859. John Shore, 1878. Look at this one here. The rocks circling it. It's missing the top of the monument there. Fell asleep in Jesus on the 27th December 1888. Win Hand. Wow. Beloved son of Thomas and Jane Hand. It's kind of a creepy last name, right? Hand. Jane Kemp. Thomas and Jane Hand. A mother's hope. A father's joy. Death's hand hath here laid low. God gave and took our darling boy to the command we bow. To this command we bow. It'd be tough to read. Actually, another Fluellen. Jane Fluellen. They were notable around the Stittsville area. This is not Stittsville, this is Canada right here. But I'm gonna head over to Bell's Corners after this, check out another really interesting church after we check out the one across the way. I had to bring you back here though. Very interesting. So I had some weather I could actually use for filming. Rest in peace. All these poor souls. Definitely interesting. Of course, the Legion here, the building itself was actually, so this building here, as it states here, dedicated October 9th, 1914, constituted July 15th, 1914, instituted June 20th, 1913. Huh. So this Legion here, just to the left, the old church, dedicated October 9th, 1914. Isn't that creepy? Looks like a funeral parlor. Someone resides here now. See the newer attachment here on the old church. Just across the way here now, where the older church, Secretive Cemetery were. We're here at St. Paul's. Just like to admire this architecture as well. Look at the bell up there. Gotta come here on a Sunday sometime when they're ringing it. But entrance closed for the winter. But we're here, might as well take a look at this one. It's definitely a newer church. It's not ancient like this one across the way. We're gonna check out an even more historical one coming up next. Head to Bell's Corners to do that. St. Paul's Church. This one dedicated to the glory of God, September 19th, 2004. 20 years ago. Seems like yesterday. It seems like yesterday. It's over 20 years ago. So this church actually just celebrated its 20th anniversary of existence. I really like those circular windows up there. It's interesting. Not heavy on the stained glass, these churches I'm showing you today, but pretty cool. Another angle of where that bell just sits in that huge piece of concrete there at the front. Very cool. That brings us over here to the township of Bell's Corners to check out this interesting church right here. This is Bell's Corners United. I've driven by this church a million times since I was a child. It's the age of, 3 or 4. I've always been very fond of it. All the architecture here. It used to look a lot older. They just redid this, but pretty interesting. Yeah, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been very fond of this roof design here. We'll get a little closer. Yeah, the wood here used to look to be a more darker brown. It was a lot more tattered, looks like they've just redone that. Such an interesting roof design though. Figured it was a good day to come over and check this out since we're talking about churches and stuff. Alright, so I'll take a little walk around here. Bell's Corners United. Definitely a unique church design. But you don't see churches like this too often. That roof is magnificent. See a professional skateboarder going up there, dropping in, doing something off of here. That probably would not be hard at all for a professional. Totally cool to see. Was it erected in 1898 or 1962? I guess 1962. Sounds more correct, but could have been 1898. The Christmas wreaths up. Check this out, they have a labyrinth over here. Some elements on top of it, but this is cool. This is cooler than the labyrinth by my house there. Bell Park. Look at that. I like the red stones here. The red brick. So you'd start, if you were doing the labyrinth at the beginning, and you think about a problem that you're facing, and by the time you've walked the whole labyrinth to the center, you're supposed to have figured out an answer to your problem. Or how you'd like to deal with that problem. Pretty interesting. Very cool. And a memorial bench over here by the labyrinth. Loving memory of Gail Harmer Mutton. Life is good. Live it. Life's a garden. Dig it, make it work for you. Joe Dirt. See the cross there, poking out from the other side. Go take one more look. More establishing shot from the even more interesting side of the church. I mean, this is pretty interesting. Look at that. I did not know there was a whole labyrinth here. We do have a nursery school here as well. Ages 2 to 5. Bell's Corners Cooperative Nursery School. Alright. One more establishing shot of this extremely unique architecture. I mean, it's definitely unique around here. Similar to that last church. Look at that though. Coming down this way as a child, no matter where we were going, heading to the downtown area or into the city, I'd always pass by this church. Very unique. I love it. I mean, the architecture is similar to like something you'd see at a church in like Japan or something. Somewhere in China. In fact, we used to have a restaurant down here called Foodie Goodie, which was an Asian joint. You could get just about anything there. So maybe that's why this place always reminds me of like an Asian church. It's incredible. The cross up there and the clouds going by. The blue sky. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm very fond of that church architecture. Like I said, we're gonna go check out one more church, which I have covered before, but we'll end the video there. And a church that was actually used in a film here in town. Well, a couple towns over. A few sheets of ice just fell off the roof here. Gotta be careful. Be careful in this country. When things start to melt. Before the snow makes its return. I really enjoy doing this stuff. Checking out unique architecture and churches. Yeah. Now we've made it back to my neck of the woods here in Stittsville, the final church and stop for today's video. Look at all the birds. Look at all the birds up there. Whole congregation over here, top of the roof. there on the steeple. Birds. It was used in the 2022 film House of Chains, which was filmed here in Stittsville. Also used this building, this intersection in the film. My parents actually got married at this church. I just always found it to be a very unique church. I thought it would be used well in a horror movie, any type of horror film. And House of Chains is kind of like a, well, it's a true story type film, so I wouldn't call it a horror film, but pretty cool though. I love looking at those birds up there. They're always up there, unless something scares them. There's a couple right on top of the cross, at the tip. Right at the tip. But actually attempt to enter the church. My parents got married here before I was even born, obviously, so I don't think I've actually ever entered this church. But the doors here were used in House of Chains, where the kids escape. You can see the full filming location video on that film. Probably make you want to watch the film. It's got Mina Savari in it from American Pie. The kids escape. True story of the Turpin family, and they come to this church. They had put up some makeshift doors, actually, for the film. Brown doors, so these were not the doors used, but it was filmed right here. And the cops pulled up right here. These two birds up here staring down at me. And they're a bird's eye view of Mr. Thrasha. I'll see if it's open. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Oh, no go. Look at the birds here, right on the peak of the roof up here. Those ones up there too. This parking lot here was actually utilized when they were filming for House of Chains. They had everyone's campers, and all the production crew was all staying here in this parking lot when they were doing the filming. That's about going to do it today. Please like and please subscribe. If you're new here, that's going to let you know when a new episode goes up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasha Show. Check out the filming locations playlist, one of the biggest worldwide. And it includes that film I was just talking about, House of Chains. Perfect. New year, same fash, same thrash. We'll see you next time. Now those birds are coming back. They're just flying circles up here. They're coming back. Here they come. They're confused. They're just flying circles up here. A whole flock. No one messes with these birds. If you mess with one bird, you gotta deal with the whole flock. As they continue to do circles around the church. They don't veer far from this church, evidently. Look at them. Look at them. Coming back again. See if we can get them landing back on the church. Oh my God. Wow. All right. That was incredible.